Hello everyone, and this is SeReNiiTYzZ here, back with another awesome Fortnite Battle Royale gameplay today. And this time today guys, as you can see from the title, a solo gameplay first win with the Blockbuster, the skin that you can see on your screens right now, the Visitor. And very happy to be delivering this one today. And I've got a couple of solo gameplays with this gentleman to come up, and some really intense funny royales. Not quite the glamorous high kill counts that I've been expecting yet, but still decent games to boot, and really exciting one today. Both games actually that I'm going to be bringing out are against good competition at the end, some good players, and I really poached the royale from both sets of players, but I've had my fair share of heartbreak as well. I've come second quite a few times playing as this skin. A few of them I should have won, but you know, didn't have the right thing at the end, or something went a bit you know, pear-shaped and I didn't get the royale. But going to bring out two gameplays where I did, and this is the first one today. And I'm starting from this point because I've you know, come to sort of, I actually on my initial glide down, I wasn't at this place initially. I was somewhere close by, so that's why I've sort of taken all this time looting. I didn't see anyone during that time, so at this moment here just claiming the loot, but there will be plenty of action for us to look forward to as the gameplay goes through, and all of my action happens from sort of the middle of this game towards the end. So not seeing anyone in the beginning, but you know, nice weapons I do have, a blue AR, blue grenade launcher is always a nice place to start, and you know, hopefully it's going to liven up as things go on. But at this moment here, just getting material. And I think in my time of playing solo recently, more recent in Fortnite, I mean, the material nerf is a bit subtle, but it's, you know, just like each time you whack with your pickaxe, you're always getting about sort of 10 or 15 less, and over time that is kind of noticeable. And I think with, you know, people getting better at building now, build fights take up more materials, and it's very noticeable late game when you find yourself a bit short on materials, and that's like I say, that's cost me a little bit of time. So you know, some royales in terms of winning them. So it's really important that you make sure that you really plan tactically ahead, because people are getting better on the game now, and the competition is a lot more fierce. You know, I've been finding anyway from a personal perspective. So definitely have to sort of move with it and try and find the strategies to still get these royales. And this is a nice example of me doing so right here. So right here guys, looted everything, pretty much all the buildings that I have time for. At this point here it was kind of unusual because I came to Disco Build and looted certain things, but I didn't loot the truck, so I know that someone else came here or is somewhere is around. So that's why I was kind of looking at my surroundings at this point as I was pushing forward, and pretty familiar with the area here. You know, I've come here many times with my friends, and you know, I know this area pretty well, so it's a nice route for me to take on my you know, my royale. But at this point here, just looking to get up into the zone, because obviously that storm is approaching, so we don't want to get caught for some pointless damage. And it's nice to have a chug as well, and a few smalls, so you know, hopefully we'll have time to make the best use of those, and you know, really help myself to win this royale. So this point here, see a player just more or less outside the storm barrier, so got to bear that in mind as I push in. And this is another thing that can happen that you have to be careful of in Fortnite Battle Royale when you engage someone on the edge of the storm area, because you sort of have to kill them at this point because the storm's right behind you. Obviously I've got time because it's just come in, but at this point here, some really nice pressure onto this guy. Unfortunately for me, he gets under me, and I miss the first few pump shot, and again, just don't really get that lucky with it and keep rebuilding. But I really enjoy playing the skin in this way, because this is more of the plays I'm starting to make to build a pro. As you guys will probably remember from before, I didn't used to build as much in shotty fights, but that was a lot of fun. Obviously if that guy was a little bit better, I could have possibly died there, because it was a little bit scrappy and he was able to get past one of my walls. But that was quite fun. That was a nice exposure to do that. And at this point here, just using the mini that I had, and also the minis that I had, sorry, and the shield pot, so I just skipped past that bit of healing. And at this point here, I've now got a free inventory slot after using the big pot, so can take the minis that I dropped. I don't really want the med kit, I want the shields, but you know, pick up the med kits. I forgot about the smalls for a second, then pick the smalls back up. So really nice play for the first kill there. nice to get that guy sort of unaware. Always good if you can get, you know, first shot onto a guy in Fortnite Battle Royale, or shots. And I hit like a couple of shots there, so obviously that guy was already down shots in that fight. So really good play from me. And again, just replenishing the wood that I lost during that first fight, that first individual. But, you know, decent fight. Like I said, I've been trying to get used with solo gameplays recently to get better at the game, and also to increase my individual skills with building and pressured situations. And, you know, I'm really succeeding at that, and I think you guys are going to notice in this gameplay today, because it's a really nice, intense ending. Both of the games that I've had where I've won in this new skin. You know, it's an awesome skin actually. I haven't really talked about the skin a great deal to start proceedings here, but really like the Blockbuster skin. Like the fact that you had to sort of work towards it, you know, challenges over many weeks on this current season's Battle Pass, so I was very happy with that. And, you know, to acquire it is really nice because it's only a skin that the Battle Pass users can get, and it does require a sense of grinding. And obviously got it with the first week in play, because I've done all the challenges up until week 7, like all the dedicated hardcore people in the game. So it was really nice to have you know, Blockbuster early on and to be using it. So at this point here, guys, and I think the skin looks pretty awesome as well. I think a lot of people, some people are not a great lover, but I think it's I really like the whole sort of backpack thing with the cape. I think it looks pretty neat, so I'm pretty satisfied, to be honest. And like I say, maybe not everyone that has the Battle Pass will get this. I think the majority will, but probably not everyone, so it's a nice aspect from that point of view as well, that you have to work for it, like you know, the Carbide and Amiga, like leveling up to get the full armor for those. So I do like that aspect of it, and I think Epic have come up with good ideas for those kind of skins, and that's nice to see. So at this point here, guys, just moving forward, like I said, replenishing my materials, looking at things that are unlooted. I'm not too far from the zone here, and the storm's coming in, so just have a little bit of distance to go here. It's not too much to concern myself about, just making sure that I get in and you know, in a comfortable position to push forward the rest of the game. It's a good thing here that I'm on the thin part as well, because it makes it easier for me to get in here. So I would always try and get the thin part of the storm if you can, because obviously you know, it's easier to sort of make transition to, and if you do get attacked, the damage won't be that bad after hopefully winning that fight. So that's what I'm doing at this point, and just sort of recuperating each stage. Whenever I see a big tree like this now in Fortnite, and you know, got like 400 or 500 wood, I think a decent amount is 750 plus. So I'll always try and replenish, so that's what I was trying to do. At this point here, immediately come under fire and just immediately think to build. Now I haven't actually spotted this guy, it's just I know where the shots roughly came on. Realise he's up on the hill and try to get a sighting on him, because I haven't seen him at this point. Tagging off with some really nice shots there, I think a 33 and a 66 from the ground, so I was really pleased with that. And at this point here, because I figured this guy might be an alert player, I was very quick to build my double ramps as I'm coming up to him there with wood. Using a lot of materials to do that, but I think it was worth it because this guy has the high ground, and I thought because of the way that he was quite alert to my presence that he'd be quite a smart player. At this point I can't really hear any movement, so he may be healing from the, as you can hear, he just used some minis there, so that's when I know he's shielded up again, so I decided to build because I think he might have close to full shield back, and at this point here just do a number on him and completely sit him down and return him back to the lobby. Goodbye no skin, but you ain't getting the better of the Visitor, man. The Visitor roams wherever he wants with his Blockbuster movie right here on SeReNiiTYzZ. He does not take any rubbish, but yeah, nice play from me to finish him off there. I kind of knew from the way I was observing him playing when I tagged him up for that first pump shot that he was not going to be the brightest of the bunch, so I knew that I could get away with that. You know, ridiculous abuse there really in that fight, and I was quite pleased with that. And here at this point, just setting out my recording for the channel because, like I said today, guys, this is my first solo win using this skin, and I always try to bring out the first win that I have using a new skin onto my channel. So this was it today. But at this point here, moving in, and you know, I'm still a little bit out of the zone at the minute, but because I'm on the small part, the thin part, it's not going to come in as fast, and I can take my time here to observe. And you know, don't have to go in immediately. I think Fortnite Battle Royale, the final few circles, all about timing. You have to be careful when to push into the final few circles. there's advantages to both. Obviously, going early and building up is risky because you know, it can be very you can get a lot of people on you, but if you're good enough to kill them all and you know, get away with that sort of thing, then that's great. But I feel the best use of materials is to use them wisely. Use them at the moment and instantaneously, rather than sort of going ahead and, you know, wasting materials in a circle that might not be the final battle circle. So it's sort of balancing that all on board, and that's what I try to incorporate into my solo gameplays now. At this point here, guys, I can hear and you know, see a lot of that structure around, a lot of shots coming from it. It's quite a big wood structure that's actually in the zone, and it looks a bit ominous, to be honest. It looks a bit strange over there. So I'm just kind of surveying the edges at the moment of the zone, and trying to determine like where all these players are, because there's quite a lot of players were left. I think it was about 10 or 9 when I came in, so, you know, quite a lot of players left for me to like find and determine where they are. So at this point here, just being careful. You can see that some of the exterior of Lonely Lodge is still in, just the little passage road beside it, which leads to the mansion. So, you know, quite a lot of ground to cover. It's still quite a big area, and you know, just got to be careful as we push in for the final couple of circles here. I think it's useful if you can to use a marker when you play in Fortnite Battle Royale towards the end with the final circle, because I have a tendency to, when I'm playing, that obviously I know where the final zone is, but I never follow a straight line, so I always try to get myself a sort of bearing when I'm pushing forward by using the marker to sort of help me a little bit determine where I have to go, because many a time I try to get stuck in and not in the best place coming into the zone sometimes in the final moments, so I try to sort of use that as a precursor to sort of maybe say like I have to get over to this side, because, you know, before the timer gets in really. And at this point here, and you know, just observing this base, try to shoot some grenade launcher out. Obviously I don't want to use all of them on it because I don't even know if there's a player still there. At this point I see a player ahead of me at this point, and he's building some ramps and stuff, and the player count has quickly gone down very quickly to about 5 or 4 now. Put some shots onto him and he builds up almost immediately, so it's nice that I was able to hit him for some shots, and now we get into a build fight. Now here is where I really want to sort of commentate and sort of make improvements in my game right here, because this is an aspect of the game that I think I need to get more confident with. I started to try and get the height on him, and bear in mind I've already tagged him up for some few shots, so I could have been more aggressive there. I had the shield to do so. I had 200 health. I don't think I should have dropped so quickly there. Obviously he got his stairs over mine, but I should have tried to have got over him again by building up a different direction. Sorry, excuse me for the voice break. I should have tried to have got round for a different direction there onto that guy, because you know, gaining the height is everything in Fortnite, and this now allows him to have the time to heal, because I'm not really doing much from down here. So I think sometimes with these build fights, what I've learned from solo recently, and I've had again some agonising second place finishes, this kind of thing, but it's something I can definitely try and improve on against the better players. But it's definitely to keep that high, try and get that high at all times. Don't always use the materials straight away. You know, if they build like a bad ladder or ramp, try and shoot that out as opposed to sort of, you know, pouring up too much or pouring up too early. Just use what's absolutely required. And at this point he's right above me somewhere, so I try to destroy all the enemy things I can see he's built, and at this point I can see him coming, so I decide to build even more, just to put the pressure on, make him think that I'm, you know, I'm a decent builder, but to put the pressure on him. Here I didn't build a flat, so he's got a free pass, which was a mistake at me at the time of this gameplay. And right here I tried to block him off with some walls, but I haven't really built enough there, so it's very easy for him to determine where I am. Now at this moment in the game, guys, I have tagged him up with some shots already, and I think he did apply a med kit, but I think he took some, or not sure if he has shields at this point. I'm going to show you this back in theatre mode, but he is desperately trying to get at me, this guy, and his gamer tag I checked back in theatre after was pure clumsy, and this was pure clumsy of him, man, as you're going to see what's going to happen to this poor soul eventually. But he's got one of the footy skins, and I'm determined not to play a football match with him, as I'm rebuilding and playing very defensively at the back four and to the goalie, and at this point here just being ever so careful, but unfortunately edit out a poor thing there. He gets inside, tries to score, but SeReNiiTYzZ says no and completely slaps him down, gives him the red card. See you, mate. got the Royale win right there, or you know, getting closer to it with 5 HP left. That pure clumsy got destroyed, but I was a bit lucky, I will admit. But this was the kind of plays, and just skipping up the chug equip there. But this is the kind of plays that SeReNiiTYzZ is starting to put into his gameplays now, guys. I hope you enjoyed that bit of defensive building masterpiece right there. As SeReNiiTYzZ is still in contention for the Royale win. But yeah, I really did get a bit lucky with that towards the end. But as I was saying earlier before, that humility onto pure clumsy happened. Obviously, you know, need to be careful with my builds and try to get more offensive rather than defensive straight away. But you know, just great play to keep building the relevant pieces. Here at this point, classic solo strategy, let them fight. Here you gotta not give the you know, the survivor much time, because at this point I've killed one of them. And unfortunately for me, it was the weaker player. The guy that survived is Samo, who has like 10 kills at this point. So obviously he's a strong bit of competition, the survivor. And at this point here, I should have pushed in a lot quicker, because I did do some full damage to him, which gave him, I think it did like 47 damage. So he had like 53 health. And at this point here, I play a bit defensively again. I'm glad that I did on this occasion, because the guy tried to rocket me, and I built up 2 ladders as I was going up to protect myself. And at this point here, just fortifying my little structures wherever I go. And at this point as well, just being careful not to get too high, because the danger of massive build fights like this situation is when you get too high, it's harder to come back down. And obviously I wanted to get my med kit off after I destroyed pure clumsy earlier on, when he tried to break into SeReNiiTYzZ's house and will not allow that, and had to give him the red card. But yeah, great play from me. I was completely you know, speechless when I survived the pure clumsy, because I was just like, wow, that kid got so destroyed. I feel sorry for him. But at this point here, edit out, see him rebuilding, which obviously gave me a brilliant opportunity. Get a pump shot onto him, and check this out, guys. Put up the SeReNiiTYzZ defensive build wall, and that stops a goal right there. And SeReNiiTYzZ moves on to the World Cup final. But but no, you know, my friend Matt would always say, you know, when some goon tries to win with explosive weapons in Fortnite Battle Royale, I hate those kind of players. And well, Sensei, that's what I can provide, man. That's what I can do. I can throw up my ladder, can throw up my wall, and you know, prevent that and block the Rakito coming in. And that's what happened to him there. And you guys are going to ask me now if that was intentional. I was going to say it is, but actually that stairwell that I built was actually to get up to him. But funnily enough, luckily for me, I was able to get underneath it, and he decided to fire that rocket in, because I think he thought I was coming as well. And it ended up being my saving bacon as I blow him up there with the blast damage. So I was really pleased with that. And you know, that was against good players as well. Some great defensive building strategies. I really popped my stuff when I won this one, the first win I had playing as the Blockbuster skin, and just couldn't quite believe it. So at this point here, guys, I went back into theatre mode to see the humility on these 2 guys. And I will tell you as well that when I won this game, both of the eye spectators went out very quickly. I mean, how frustrating is it to know that you had someone on the ropes, and after the battle they have 5 HP and they have a chance? You know, I'd be so fuming if that was me. And we're going to see the reaction from Pure Clumsy right here. As you can see, number 18 for Pure Clumsy there, as he's trying to... It was a bit clumsy of him, all this, to not get this kill. I mean, he had me on the ropes here, and you know, admittedly I could have done better before I got in this situation, and should have done better. But you can see that I'm getting much better at the Builder Pro, reacting to things real time. Knew the guy was going for my floor there, so I start building flats, I start building the walls on the side. He tries everything, but he cannot penetrate the wall of SeReNiiTYzZ. He cannot penetrate this fortress, and as you can see, he's trying ever so hard to get at SeReNiiTYzZ, but SeReNiiTYzZ just says no. The Blockbuster visits, and you know, when he does get a movie and feels a movie coming on, he'll not let go to it. He'll hold on like a dog on a bone. He will not give this up. And as you can see, eventually he breaks the wall of SeReNiiTYzZ, but then SeReNiiTYzZ just answers back. You know, the blue pump headshot for 120 damage now. God, it should have been 200 before the update, but there you go, whatever. And he uses his chug, 5 HP, survives, And obviously Pure Clumsy has returned to the lobby in a fit of anger there. But as you, as you can see here, guys, showing you the scoreboard from in theatre. So Samo, the player right here that doesn't die, I get the grenade launcher onto the other player that he was fighting, had 10 kills, and Pure Clumsy was also a strong competitor, the one that I just killed. So, you know, against good players as well, you know, really good players that I got the better of in this gameplay to build well and still win this. But at this moment, guys, I'm just going to show you the humility of him encountering his own rocket. I mean, he was his own victim of success right there, and loses a double-digit game thanks to yours truly. But I will see you next time, guys. I'll let you enjoy the final moments. This was SeReNiiTYzZ, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.